Hey there Workforce, Chris here with Work to Game, and this week in Minecraft it's going to be a pretty short episode because once again I'm going on about an hour worth of playtime, and this hour is mostly just gathering more stone. The reason we're gathering stone is because we can take stone hammers and we can actually break it into gravel, which will be sifted, and that is the primary way that in skyblock you get resources. You can actually even compress the cobble so that you have less to break, and then thanks to this having a sort of vein miner on the server, you can just use that hammer to go ahead and break a bunch at once. And so I'll make a nice little platform here, and that will give me the ability to place this stone safely in the compressed form, break it into gravel, and then you do actually have to uncompress the gravel in order to sift it. Now, just for future reference, and you'll see a little more of this start to happen both on and off screen, the gravel can also then be broken in its compressed form and can become compressed, or if you break uncompressed gravel, it becomes sand, and then sand can be sifted for a different loot table. You can also then break the sand with a hammer, and that becomes dust, which is yet another loot table. And so based on what you're trying to get, we're mostly on the search for diamonds right now because I have it in my head that diamond sieves would be great, although we are also trying to progress through the quest book, which means that I need some redstone and things like that to get kind of the drawers set up, which we will be working on the beginnings of this episode. Now you'll notice that we're just upgrading our first sieve up to iron, and the problem with this is you can only sieve one thing at a time, and sieves can kind of act as a multi-block structure, and so we will very quickly need to use the iron we get from this sieve to go ahead and expand that into at least a 3x3 sieve so that we can do 9 gravel at the same time. This allows you to go through a stack much faster. This does actually allow you to reach sieves in like a radius around you, so you'll always want to click on the center sieve if you're starting to deal in much larger grids, as we will in future episodes. We go ahead and we can actually compress these little ore chunks. If you take a 2x2 of them, they become kind of the equivalent of raw ore, which allows you to go ahead and put them in furnaces. At some point here we get a diamond furnace as one of our quest rewards, so that's kind of nice, but we will be wanting to process that down the road. So for now, let's go ahead and just get some of that iron processed, only for the purpose of getting us to more iron sieves. You notice that, like I said, this is a lot of gathering stone, breaking the stone, putting the stone in the sieves, storing the results. And it's just rinse and repeat, and we do this for pretty much a whole hour. It's not very productive. Zach is starting to work on the beginnings of kind of gathering clay and things like that, which will allow him to start moving towards a Tinker's Construct Forge, and that'll be nice, but this is mostly just that raw progression episode, kind of like in a traditional Minecraft server where you may go mining and you may just gather lots and lots and lots of resources. Honestly, those are not horribly exciting episodes, but they are what makes later feel more rewarding, so I do like the feeling I get when I had to go through this. Otherwise, I would just play creative and I would cheat all these items in, but this is what makes it all worth it. Now, we are actually discussing in this live time over this hour kind of what we want our mega build to be, what we want the long-term plan for the base to be, and so I really look forward to sharing that with you guys. And then we realize at the end here that in order to move forward with the drawer controllers, I need nether quartz, and the only way to get nether quartz crystals is I can either grow them, which is going to take 8 hours in game, which I go ahead and make a little pool for here so I can toss the seeds in, or we are going to go ahead and go into the nether, which is probably the faster method. I go ahead and turn some of the nether quartz dust we have into seeds just in case we don't get around to it, but I assume we're going to have nether quartz well before these actually come to maturity, so maybe these will end up being our first ones for AE when we get to that point. We'll just have to see. But with our 2 diamonds in hand, I go ahead and start playing with the drawers, getting a feel for how they interact with kind of the materials from sieving. It does work out where basically if you put the raw form in, it compresses it into just the chunks, but it won't compress the chunks into anything bigger. So I fiddle with that a little bit. It would be nice to have a controller because you can actually just right click on those and it'll put everything away for you at once. So I think that's where we should progress next time. Hopefully this week has been a little bit fun to watch. I look forward to the weeks to come where it's going to get a whole lot better. This has been Chris with Work to Game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Sup, guys?
Nice shirt.
Oh, man.
You think I could get one like that?
Well, you can get definitely a shirt like this. You can check out the Red Mage right here. This was a limited run shirt, and we actually have more limited run shirts right now. This month, we're focusing in on Dragoon. Other months, who knows? So it depends on when you see this video, what the shirt of the month would be. The link is definitely in the description, Chris. So if you want to go, support the channel and actually get something cool to wear and rep the channel, all the more power to you.
I just might do that.
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Buy a shirt.